Good evening, my fellow citizens.
Welcome to Tuesdays Live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Mark. Hey there. Coming live from South Florida, where it's hot as heck down here. Got up close to 90 degrees today, and guess where I was? In the air conditioning all day long. You bet your ass I ain't going out there. All right. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We are, of course, are glad to have you. We hope you're tuned in over at our website, tuesdayslive.com. If not, well, then possibly you're watching us over on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, or Stream Me. Yes, we go out to all 5 locations, and any one of those places you can watch the show live. And if you happen to miss the show live, you can also catch us at the website under our past shows page or on the YouTube page as well. Let me quickly remind everybody, we are interactive as we can be, because we know a lot of you people out there are shy and don't like to talk with us, but you can. And the way to do so is to get on Twitter and mention us at AllIndie, ALLINDIE. You give us a mention on Twitter, we'll give you a shout out right here on the air, and we'll even show your tweet right there at the bottom of the screen for everybody to see. So make sure you got your good profile pick up like that one right there. Right. And we also have a phone number, which Rich is going to put up on the screen right now. And that number is area code 347-985-0344. If you want to call into the show, you can do so by calling that number. I do apologize. My screen is shaking because I have a cat in the room that just banged into the screen. And, she's making herself comfy. Anyway, give us a call at that number right there if you want to call into the show instead of tweeting us, whichever you prefer. We would love to hear from you. We got a great guest lined up for you tonight, coming to us from Portland, Maine. Aynjewl Face is joining us tonight, and we'll bring her on shortly, because first, I got to interview. No, I have to introduce my partner in crime. I don't want to interview him. And trust me, you don't either. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rich Wildman. Hey, Rich.
Why on earth would nobody want to interview me?
I don't know. It was just a thing to say at the moment. I've interviewed you because I've interviewed you before.
Yeah.
And
no,
so
I understand why you wouldn't, but everybody else, that's the part I have a problem with.
I guess if they find you interesting, sure.
Of course, I'm interesting. I'm bald. I'm old.
Bald and old. That makes you interesting?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Well, then you're more interesting than I am.
Besides, as we found out during the pre-show, I have a new way to commit crime. I invented it, by the way.
Yes. Oh, let me guess. You're going to talk about that on the air right now?
No, I'm not going to give it away. The last thing I need to do is be blamed for people being put behind bars. I don't want to be blamed for anybody getting in any trouble, so I'm going to keep it to myself for now.
That's Rich Wildman, WILDMAN.
So to our friends over at the NSA who are listening, let me tell you a little bit about a buddy of mine you might be interested in as well, because we all know the NSA has their own problems with social media, as well as a lot of indie artists out there. If you're an indie artist who has problems with social media, you want to get your name out there, you want to get your music heard, you want to get your website seen, well, what you need to do is you need to ride the bus. I'm talking about the Indie Music Bus. IndieMusicBus.com is where you need to go. Walt and the guys will help you out with all your social media needs and a whole lot more besides that. Here's a little something they put together. That's the Indie Music Bus, indiemusicbus.com. Tell Walt that Mark and I sent you. Of course, if you're from the NSA, well, you already know who we are. So that's, you already got it figured out.
A word of warning, though, if you mention that Rich or I sent you to, to Indie Music Bus, he may charge you double.
Did I mention it was free to begin with? So, double free is just as good as single.
Just like all those raises I gave to Carol. Every week she would complain on the show about how I never, she works her ass off and doesn't get paid enough. So I doubled her salary every week. And she still wasn't happy.
You should at least send her one blank check. That's all I'm saying. So,
yeah, I believe Carol's tuned in. By the way, a happy Anzac Day to everybody in Australia. It's the day, and I think Carol is tuned in this morning. So, hey, Carol.
That's right. It's tomorrow morning there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
She is in Queensland, I believe. Yes, Queensland, in Townsville, to be exact. And hold on, I'll give you everybody her address. No, I'm just kidding.
Do they have crocodiles there?
They got crocs, mate. Biggins.
Crocodiles, emus, ostriches, and kangaroos. Oh my!
And they don't. And you know what they don't drink over there? Fosters.
It's expensive. All that local beer. I was in Australia back in 1987, and or was it 92? I don't know. It was one of those years. And all that local beer is expensive. You want to buy cheap beer. I mean, back then $2 was expensive for a beer, but I don't know what it would be now, but I know it's expensive. So buy cheap beer over there.
Oh, what do you drink? Like Schlitz?
No, I drank. When I was over there, I drank QB Bitter, Queen Victoria Bitter.
Oh, yeah, that's still around.
Excellent beer, great stuff.
That's still, yeah, not my taste, but yeah. Anyway, we really need to invite our guest into the conversation here because we need to find out what kind of beer she drinks. Ladies and gentlemen, actually, she may not even be old enough to drink beer. We never even asked her how old she was. I guess you don't ask a woman her age on the air. That's anyway. True. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from Portland, Maine, rap hip-hop artist, Aynjewl Face, and you're going to see on the screen there in a second exactly how she spells Aynjewl Face. But there she is. That pretty smile. She's waiting for her moment to speak. Yes. How are you? How are you, Aynjewl Face?
I'm good. How are you guys tonight?
Can I just call you Aynjewl? Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or would you prefer Miss Face?
Either one, honestly. I don't mind.
All right. So what's going on over there in Portland? You guys have been hit 4 times with snowstorms, and today was like, beach weather up there, wasn't it?
Yes, 60 degrees.
Degrees. Wow, you must have been streaking down the road, like, oh, this is awesome,
Not quite.
No, I guess not. But it is 60 degrees is pretty warm for Maine, though. You have to admit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for this time of the year.
How warm does it get up there? And like, what's the warmest it gets in the summer in Portland?
Probably, I don't know, up in the 90s at least.
Really? It gets that hot up there?
Yeah. Yep. And when it's that hot, it's really hot.
Wow. Is it humid too? Does it also get high humidity?
Yeah. Yep. Especially when you're sweating half to death. Yeah.
Hair will stand up on end. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And people who have seen your website already know what I'm talking about. When they go to your website, I'm speaking of hair. It just made me think of this. When you first go to your website, you have different pictures of you, and so you have many looks. I mean, how do you wake up in the morning and decide what you're going to look like that day?
Well, I have one day a self-care day where I pretty much prepare what's going to happen throughout the week.
But do you like wake up knowing what you want to look like for that day, or
sometimes like there's some nights I'll go to sleep and I'll think of it creatively in my mind what I'm going to do with my hair the next morning, so I already know what to do and I can just do it. And it's always a toss up because like I make it up and then I'm executing that idea the next day for the first time a lot of times. So it's fun to see how things come out sometimes.
I'm sure. So you're, in addition to being a creative hip hop artist, you are a creative makeup artist.
Well, I mean, one belief that I have that I feel stays true is that how a person does one thing is how they do all things. So if effort I'm going to put in.
Son of a bitch, then. Anyway. So I'm just curious. A lot of popular in that part of the country. So of all the music styles that are available in hip hop and rap.
Well, basically, I grew up, my mom she used to read a lot of poetry, goose stories. So I grew up and developed into rap.
But the music that you have behind your, is that also you? Are you writing that, or is someone else doing?
Yeah, I started on Fruity Loops and shrubbing on plastic bowls and stuff, but from in LA, and that's what I still use right now. I pull in sounds other places. Some of my new stuff has like to use it as a sample.
There.
They have a 6-month program for independent artists that I took, and
it'll be all about social media. Who and what and where and all that stuff. And we get young kids to come on and tell us about how to use social media applications.
Okay.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah, to market it towards your age group, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So the kids would come on and say, and they would be talking like to you, but they would be saying grandpa. Grandma.
All right, yeah. Mark, never mind. We have more music to listen to. Yeah,
okay.
I'm looking at Mark right now, and I can tell his camera has frozen up.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you're right about that.
His signal has dropped on him, but that will not deter you and I from listening to your second track, because I really want to do that. And the second track that you placed out there for us to hear tonight is called It's Okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that before we hear it?
Okay. The song It's Okay was a song that helped me get through a hard moment in my life, and actually has, I think, a description on, if you go on my website, Hit Music, it will bring you to my music page. But if you go into the Crossback album, I think that's what album it's off of, it should have some notes on that, and I think the lyrics are up there too. But this is a song, it gets pretty deep, it's pretty poetic, but it's really to give people, something to go for and to stay positive.
All right, perfect. All right, well, let's take a listen to it. It's called It's Okay. This is Angel Face here on Tuesdays Live.
It's to the matches, come seed spreading like you're catching. It just has to happen. My thoughts make the reaction. See how fast they patch and see something productive. You grab it, cut out the bad things, make it deliberate by design. Everything is notion, so you can choose what you put in motion. Want some new shoes? Mix up a potion. Make sure you lose mental commotion. Don't be fooled when fear pokes in. You gotta use your own coping. You're the muse to let hope in. Hold it, infuse some new ropes and mold them. I'm talking hope to believe, cause it's true. Let it soak in. Get introduced to the new, make it potent. Don't let it slip, fine tune, stay in focus. Actualize your rooms into it, you got the whole thing. You the master in the puppet, controlling all limbs. Hypnotize, create your own hymns. It's your life through your eyes. I tell you one thing, my friend, don't let it slide. It's okay, it's alright. I'm making it with no fight. I'm taking it with all might. I'm playing this all night. It's okay, it's alright. I'm making it with no fight. I'm taking it with all might. I'm playing this all night. Yeah, become the master of your mind is the true mastermind. Imagination divine, magic bonafide. Visualize till it's real inside. Watch the skipping stone glide till it dips to hide. Hold your vision strong through the bangs and shatters. It's like you're pitching long. Pick up your cane and fragments. Piece your picture how you had it. Make it fame. The madness your first thought when it came is the frame to capture. Intuition's the flame. Intention comes after. Your mind plays the games. Hold the reins and plaster. Don't stay in one place, it's a waste. Move faster. There is a right chase within a pace and pattern. It's all behind the face in the state. Aside from chatter, keep the fear away. With grace comes true laughter. Oh, if you didn't know, now you know, sister. It's okay, it's alright. I'm making it with no fight. I'm taking it with all might. I'm playing this all night. It's okay, it's alright. I'm making it with no fight. I'm taking it with all might. I'm playing this all night. Do you hear what I say? Everything is okay. Do you hear what I say? Everything is okay. Do you hear what I say? Everything is okay. Do you hear what I say? Everything is okay. It's okay, it's alright. I'm making it with no fight. I'm taking it with all might. I'm playing this all night. It's okay, it's alright. I'm making it with no fight. I'm taking it with all might. I'm playing this all night.
Yeah, that
It's
was-
okay. See, I'm on it, Mark.
Yeah.
It's okay. Angel Face. All right, great song, by the way. And as we were during while the music's playing, just so everybody knows, we sit in the background and talk amongst ourselves. And one of the things you mentioned is that you thought that the backing track or the backing video that we play may have been one of the areas, Flamingo Road, was it? Was it you thought might be where Tupac was shot at? And I
Yeah.
gotta be honest, I have no clue. I don't know where or what cities those videos come from, and obviously there could be a lot of Flamingo Roads, so I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe.
I have a a mile away from here. Yeah, he was shot in Vegas.
Does it say what road?
That's what I'm looking for. Hey, guess where I'm looking? Wikipedia.
You gotta tell him we had a joke prior. That's why we're laughing about this.
Yeah.
They stopped at a red light at East Flamingo Road. And
Flamingo Road, told you.
You're good, Angel.
He used to be my idol. He used to be my idol growing up. So, you know, my whole room was plastered with different Tupac posters. Anyone you could ever imagine was probably there.
There you go.
Apparently, by the way, I'm guessing it's your birthday today. So happy birthday.
Yeah, when'd you figure that one out? Thank you.
Right there, you got Jake Farmer. He said,
okay, hi Jake.
Have you been having a good birthday? And the whole tweet is, what was the best birthday you've ever had?
Oh my God, I hardly even celebrate my birthday. Probably the day I was born, right? Why not? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have birthday parties or anything, so that's why I'm here tonight. I wanted to try to make it my own party. Fun party. In fact, I had an interview earlier for to get in an indie film, and that went really well.
Did it?
Then I went to school. I might hit up the bar for a drink after this, shoot a couple darts.
What kind of a film? I gotta
go to sleep.
You know what type of...
Well, it's going to be, you know, about a girl kind of getting into drugs, maybe, but that's not the role I'm going to play. I'm going to be the common collective one that helps her through the times.
Just so if anybody else out there interested, by the way, I noticed that it didn't sound to me like you were from Maine, but apparently you're from Massachusetts originally. I can hear that. Are you from Boston or near Boston?
I used to say from a burb of the bean, which means a burb of Boston, suburb.
Yeah. I could hear that.
Yeah, from like Beverly Salem area.
Okay. What made your family move to Maine? It was too hot in Boston.
Well, right? My family didn't move.
Oh.
I moved.
Oh, okay.
And it was a personal life thing that happened.
Okay. So. All right. We don't have to go there. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Moving right along now. I don't like backing our guests up into a corner. Now I feel bad. All right.
That's okay.
If you
life,
want,
you know, life happens.
If you want, Angel, I can take care of that guy over there. I'm just saying.
I do need a couple of bodyguards. See, I had a show one time and I had some trouble. I need to hire some.
No, Rich is about as tall as my kneecap, so he you know.
Yeah, you really put him on the spot.
You know what they say. It's not the height of the guy. The taller you are, the harder you fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see, I get back up quick. I'm scrappy. I move quick. See.
All right, now this conversation is taking an interesting turn now. Rich the boxer. Yes. That explains the bruises. You know, I mean,
just like Simon and Garfunkel. Play the music, man.
Yeah, right. All right. Rich, you want to squeeze in another question here, or should we move on to the last song?
We can do whichever one you want as well. So either way, we're good. All right. All right. Back to your website, because one of the things I see on your website is really kind of interesting. On the About page of site, one of these areas, it fascinates me. This IQ. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And you take a little bit of the mystery away, because when I read it, it's almost like
baby doll. I had Well, I believe some others I can't remember right now. And, you know, it was going to be different inside of me. And it's been adapted as the name of my production company. So the photography I do, it's the graphic art, it's the marketing, it's the, you know, I can put together a website if needed. You know, it's all that other stuff that has to do with production. It's almost like Jay-Z has his whole rock.
Because the way it's put on the website, it just...
No, I need feedback like that.
it's clear now.
It's only old folks like us. You know? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hope so too. All right. It's going to be After Alice, and I'm sorry, Rich. Did you want to say something before I get to the last part of it?
I'm just working on invitations for the barbecue. That's, you know.
Oh.
Just want to make sure we get everybody to show up, you know. It's gonna be like, you know, bring a covered dish or bring chips or bring something to drink or whatever, but you know, bring a cow maybe. I don't
know. Oh my gosh. All right. Obviously Rich is hungry.
You know, if we did this right, we could have a hog roast as well.
Yes.
We just, you know, dig a big pit, bury the hog, and, you know, let it sit for 8-10 hours and then chow down. It's great stuff.
Can I close the show out now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Next week, our guest is going to be After Alice, and Rich, I don't think you're going to be with us next week, right? Next week you're not going to be able to make.
Yeah, no, so Mark, you'll be flying solo next week. I will be out of town, unfortunately, but I know everything will be handled very well in your good hands.
I sure hope so, and because if not, I'm blaming you. All right.
You're capable. You're a very capable man. You'll handle this with no problem.
An hour. Yeah. All right. I'm not worried much. After Alice will be joining me next week right here on Tuesdays Live, and I'm going to go ahead and close out the show with one of their songs. But first,
good night, Carol.
Good night, Carol. By the way, she sent me a message earlier. She overslept. She's going to catch the show, the recorded show, and she sends her best and happy birthday to Angel Face as well. So, and on that note, going to close out the show with a song from next week's guest After Alice. It's called May Morning. Is that correct, Rich? May Morning?
I have no idea. I sent it to you. I don't know.
I know, and I copied it.
Just called Morning, I think.
Oh, Morning. Same station, same time. You know where to find us. And